How can beauty make you more money? In this video, I'll share how can beauty and focusing on beauty in your business will make you more revenue, more impact, and also fulfill you while you're growing your business. This is Angel Martin. I'm part of AstroZen Marketing, and we help coaches grow successfully in every area of their business, social media, and automations. And before I start into the concept of beauty, I want to tell you the story of Michelangelo. Michelangelo was an artist in Rome that became successful and famous because of his paintings in the Sistine Chapel, David, Hercules, and many other sculptures that has transformed how we see history and ancient art. How he became successful was because he searched for beauty. He constantly strived to become better as an artist. He went into the catacombs below the churches illegally, facing possible death, just so he could study the corpses and see how did actually the body and the tendons and the face and the muscles, everything worked together. He obsessed about it night after night after night until he achieved mastery. And just then he was able to actually start creating beautiful sculptures. Then he practiced with clay. He first made the sculpture with clay. Afterwards, he tried 5-7 different models, and just then he started working with marble. This allowed him to create masterful pieces that looked like they were real. It felt like if you could touch the clothing or you can see the tears of his eyes. This is what led him to achieve beauty in his craft. How can this be transported to business? The more you find beauty in your business, the more you know how to master your craft, the more people will look for you. And I've struggled with beauty in my own life and in my own business. And there are 3 things that I've struggled the most. The first one is improvisation versus intention. I had no trouble creating videos for the sake of creating. I have no issue of just like making something for the sake of doing it and not really thinking of what's the purpose, what's the intention, what's going to happen after I post it or I create the video. But I've seen that since there's so much offer right now in the world, it's super important that you are deliberate on what you want to create, because people want to see true value, people want to see true beauty, and that's not just gonna come from trash, or that's not gonna come from something that's improvised. You can create something that's really amazing if you just set your mind into what's the intention behind it. Another mistake that I've done is too much busy work. I've been too busy with too many things trying to create, and I haven't set time for creating beauty because I've been too busy on doing all the micro tasks in my business. So that's why it's important to delegate and maybe focus on the most important thing. Rather than you trying to do all the aspects of the business, how can you delegate, train people, or automate parts of your business that will allow you to have space and free time for you to focus on what you do best? Focus on your mastery craft. Focus on the thing that's gonna be most beautiful if you put the effort into it. And finally, the lack of clarity. If you don't know what you're going to create, if you don't know the end result, you're never gonna achieve it. So it's important that you set time to see what's the end picture. How is it gonna look towards the end of what your journey is going to be? If Michelangelo didn't imagine the David before he started hitting the rock, David wouldn't have been the beautiful sculpture that is right now. So it's important to have massive clarity. Finally, what are 3 things that you can apply to your business that are related to beauty? Number 1, you have to obsess like Michelangelo. If you set time to obsess and really master your craft, people will search for you. There's always place at the table for the best. I'm gonna say that again. There's always place at the table for the best. People want the best in life. People want not necessarily the most expensive. They want the best. They want something that truly touches their soul on a really deep level, and that comes through beauty and through obsession. If you're trying to find beauty, find references. There's no sin in trying to copy others, but just don't copy straight from the source, but try to mix and find references together until you find what's truly in your calling and what's truly aligned to what you want to say. And finally, set time for beauty. Beauty is not gonna happen overnight. It requires preparation, it requires your devotion, and it requires you to set time for it so it can flourish and blossom. So remember that if you want to be successful with your business, strive for beauty and the rest will follow.